Hi, thanks for watching this video today. And today we are going to be covering the Advanced Player's Guide for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. My name is Don. I'm trying to be the Sly Strategist, and let's go ahead and get into it. So, the Advanced Player's Guide, the best I've heard it described, and pretty much from Paizo itself, is it is pretty much more of everything. It goes beyond the base classes in the core rulebook. It gives you additional classes. It gives you many more archetypes, and we'll go a little bit further into that when we get to the archetype section, as well as it gives you additional feats, both class, skill, and feats for all the current classes as well as the new classes. And then it gives you a whole list of items. It basically just expands on everything that was in the core rulebook and just gives you more. It is not quite as much of a chunky boy as the original core rulebook was, but that's because it's trying to go to a much tighter focus. So let's go ahead and start with the new Ancestries and Backgrounds. You basically get catfolk, kobold, orc, ratfolk, tengu, and the versatile heritages, which are pretty cool actually, and we'll get into that in a second. Catfolk they're very social and outgoing feline humanoids. They're very curious, and they kind of see themselves as the guardians of the world. It'd be a fun class to play. Kobolds are little mini dragons. They're extremely confident and dragon-like humanoids. They do get some resistances based on their particular dragon heritage, and those who have surfaced from underground, they're curious and cunning, and they're seeking the fortunes of adventuring. Orcs are proud and strong people. They have a bit of a harsh mentality, but once you earn their trust, they're your friend for life. Ratfolk, they're clever, adaptable, and very small. They love large groups. There's nothing they'd like better than being in a house full of 100 other ratfolk in close quarters. They love these large groups and crowded settings, and they love to travel and learn new things. Tengu are an outspoken and friendly avian species, great at conversationalists. They love to gather everything, knowledge, items, anything they can get their hands on. And then we get into versatile heritages. Now, versatile heritages are pretty cool because they can be used with any ancestry. Examples of that would be the Changeling, Dhampir, and some of the Planar Scions. We'll start with the Changelings. The Changelings they have distinctly colored eyes. They get one of their eye colors from their mother, who is a hag, and the other eye color is from their father, whatever he happened to be. And they feel the call of going back to their mother's coven, and they have to fight through that. Dhampir are the mortal offspring of undead vampires. They're a little bit living and a little bit dead, and there are challenges involved with that. Then you have the Planar Scions. The Planar Scions are broken into 3 different things. If I mispronounce these, I'll try to do better. But Aasimar, and they bear the blood of celestial beings. So they're blessed, but because of their beauty and their skills and the advantages they have, they're always trying not to be set apart from others. Duskwalkers are created beings who were created for a purpose by some mysterious being, but now they're finding themselves with more freedom, and they're trying to figure out where they fit in the world. Then you have the Tieflings. Tieflings are influenced by devils, demons, and fiends. They have that bloodline, and there's usually a visual mark of their heritage that they have to bear, along with the benefits they get from being from a demon, a devil, or a fiend. All the core ancestries gain new feats, so every single one of those gain new things that they can do. And there are new common and rare backgrounds that are available for every character. And these backgrounds help you flesh out your backstory, help you roleplay the character better, as well as give you specific ability boosts and skills that you can use in order to help better play your character. With that, we're going to go into the new classes. There are 4 new classes. You have the Investigator, The investigator is a person who is very clever at finding out information and following leads. Martial class in general, they generally get bonuses for any combat involved with these things that they've identified as their leads. It seems like a very interesting class to play. An oracle. An oracle is a divine magic user who calls upon a mysterious force that even they might not know who that is, and they attempt to divine truths and mysteries. They draw upon these mysteries in order to gain their power, but it comes at a price, which is their curse. A swashbuckler. Swashbuckler is a finesse martial class. They try to use panache and gain panache so that they can string together combos and finishers. So your typical piratey type character, or they're a swashbuckler. Then you have your witch. Your witch is a magic user who uses magic as a vessel from a mysterious force. They have a familiar, and the familiar is the conduit for these spells that they get. So they get additional spells and hexes, as well as there are additional feats for all the core classes that you can use in order to help expand your character and give you more options. This also brings the total to the 16 classes. Now we're going to get into the archetypes. Now, the original core rulebook did mention archetypes, but the archetypes were mainly just the core classes. So it's kind of like the answer to multi-classing. These specific new archetypes give you the archetypes for the 4 new classes, which they do, but they also give you an additional 38 classes that don't have anything to do with the core classes. They allow you to further tailor your character so you can get exactly what you want. If you want a spell sword, you can create that. If you want an assassin, you can create that. This allows you to create dual wielding warriors, and it can also have you do things, specific magic users to deal with talismans, or to further expand on your alchemist. So it just basically helps you really tailor your character and get more specific. If you saw my other review for the core rulebook, one of the things I said about Pathfinder is character creation is so wonderful in this system. It's a lot, and I did recommend Path Builder once again for character creation. By the way, that I know specifically that is updated for these new classes, as well as ones that are in the additional books that I'll be reviewing later. However, it just gives you so many options to create the specific character you want, so that my wizard at 10th level isn't going to be pretty much the same exact thing as another wizard at 10th level. You can really create exactly what you want by going as deep, or as not deep as you want to. So all of those, including these new archetypes, give you that ability to go ahead and create these things. The downside of an archetype is, in order to do that archetype, you give up a class feat in order to do the architect feat. So if you wanted to further go down the line of a thief, but you wanted to make him an assassin, maybe when you get to your thief feat, your class feat that you wanted to do, you're going to be taking that archetype feat instead. It is a DM discretion on whether they want to do the archetype thing, or do a free archetype roll, which is another thing that I'm actually planning on going into in another video. But it does let you greatly tailor your class. Now, as mentioned before, there are also additional feats that aren't specific to class. You get new general and skill feats. There is new spells in the spell section. We'll get into that in a second. New spells in the spell section for all 4 types of spellcasters. And there is a whole new item section that gives you just a bunch more items lists. There are new kits for the 4 new classes. There are new magical items, new treasures, new treasure tables. So this is pretty much just a bit of everything. And it really does expand what you can do with your character, with your game, and with your whole campaign. And, more is always better. That's what they say. So with that, now that we're done with what's actually in the book, I'm going to go ahead and do a review just of the book in general. Just like the core rule book, it is, really well-bound book. It does have the sections where we'll go ahead and do it over here, where we have the little section over here, little call out over here that allows you to know what section you're in at the time. And if we take it back to the spine, or not to the spine, to the front of the book, you'll see that those little colorations are there so you know where to find certain sections of the book. Once again, same great artwork, great contrast on the pages. The call outs are very visible. Even when you get into full pages of spells, let's get to the spell section. Well, actually, we'll go to the item section. Once again, every single individual item is pretty well denoted and separated with images where they're needed. The other thing I'll say is, just like the core rule book, as opposed to just having an index in the back, the index is a combination of index and glossary. So if you're looking for a specific term, you can just go to the index and look it up. If that particular definition isn't enough for you, well, it tells you the page number to go to. To wrap this up a little bit, we're going to kind of go do a conclusion here. So this is a very valuable book. I think it's wonderful to have, and I fully recommend that you support the publisher Paizo in purchasing this book, either the book itself or you can get the PDF for a lower price. However, one thing I will say, and this goes with the core rule book as well, is all of this is available on the Archives of Nethys. So if you can't, then it's available for free, fully supported by Paizo, to have those things on the Archives of Nethys. And when you get a chance, support the publisher by purchasing the book. But the information is free. So I appreciate you sitting through this video and watching about this wonderful new addition to the book, to the Pathfinder 2e. And I'd appreciate it if you like or subscribe if you haven't liked the video. But I'm going to wish you a good day and happy adventuring. Thanks.